Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Rando Geek. Alright, so update here regarding DirecTV and Dish Network. Now we talked about this about a week ago or so. I did a video in regards to an update where we were hearing more rumors about DirecTV buying Dish. Now it looks like this may actually be happening. We're hearing that this may happen as soon as Monday, according to this article from Cord Cutters News, which will be linked down for you in the description. So if in case this happens, what is the benefit here? What do these two companies really expect to happen from this merger? Well, the first thing for sure is Dish Network will be able to basically get their hands on a lifeline. This will extend their time here in the world of business, right? They have a lot of debt coming through in November, and looks like they weren't going to be able to make those ends meet, and now they might actually have a chance. So if they go ahead and merge with DirecTV, a big payout will be made into their name, and they can use that to pay down some debt and maybe even pump some more money into the wireless thing and so on and so forth. So let's read a little bit about this situation here, okay? All right, so now if this deal is finalized, the deal would mark a significant consolidation in the pay TV industry and potentially end the independence of a company founded by Charlie Ergen over 4 decades ago. So that is going to be huge, right? Dish will become DirecTV, Dish Network as we know it. Many of us had Dish Network when we were younger, cable. We grew up with it in our households. So a little sad to see that go away, even if some of you feel like the business is failing and it deserves it. It's still a part of history. It's still a part of our lives. So when things like that happen, it is kind of in some way touching and a little bit sad to see it happen, just because we just grow with the brand. I know new people come in and they take over and whatnot, but you catch my drift. If you've had Dish for a long time, you may feel some kind of attachment to it. Now, I haven't had it in years, but that's, it still is what it is, right? So anyway, according to this report, the deal will see DirecTV paying Dish's parent company, EchoStar, to gain control of Dish and Sling TV. EchoStar would retain part ownership of the newly merged TV service, but it would be run by DirecTV. We talked about that in a recent video as well, because months ago, 6 months ago, maybe more, we weren't sure who would be the one running the show, like whose name would be attached to this deal and who would they be operating under. A lot of you called it. You said DirecTV would most likely be the one running the show, and it looks like so. So EchoStar would retain, like I said, part of ownership. The deal will most likely be announced as early as Monday. They're saying that because EchoStar is in urgent need of that money, as we discussed, 1.98 billion debt in the looming. So, they got to get that money by November. With limited cash on hand and negative cash flow projections, EchoStar faces potential bankruptcy if they cannot secure this deal or an alternate financing. So they're definitely panicking, and that's why this deal would be a lifeline for them. All right, so the transaction is structured as an all-cash deal. Again, Dish needs that liquid ASAP. All right. Owned by private equity firms TPG and at&t, acquiring Dish Network, its streaming service, Sling TV, and associated liabilities. The total value of this deal could exceed $9 billion. So DirecTV is willing to slap them with some heavy payouts. That's how much confidence they have in this deal. So both companies, of course, because of the whole pay TV scene not really being as dominant as it used to be 15 plus years ago, a lot of, I got to say, Gen Z, not really interested in live TV. They're more of, they get the services that they really find interesting. They'll get Netflix, they'll get Paramount Plus, they'll get YouTube TV if they kind of want some type of live TV experience, which, they're not really even that interested in that. It's more about getting streaming services, using those for a while, dumping them, switching to a new one. A lot of stuff being watched on YouTube, as I mentioned many times in my videos before. This is the new modern way of doing it. Like that old way of, live TV is still, it's still in demand, but only for select people. Like, I enjoy some live TV. I'm a little bit old school in that way. I like some of that old stuff, but I also like some of the new stuff. I'm in the middle. I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll, as they say, right? I like both. And but that's me. That's not everybody. I'm not Gen Z. I'll just tell you that. But you know, it's more of a thing for people. Millennials and older are the ones that are really interested in pay TV. Mostly, not 100%, but mostly. All right, so this would definitely benefit both. DirecTV's been struggling. They lost a lot of customers recently with that whole deal with Disney. They've managed to work a deal out, which is why they're feeling a little bit more confident now. They've been able to structure some kind of maintenance, in between the relationship with those two. It's really hard working with Disney. They've been making it difficult for a lot of cable services, and this is not really a time for them to try to pull rank and shut them down. I know that they feel like they're worth a certain amount, but as I've said before, I think you have to compromise when things are as bad as it is. When there isn't as much demand for that type of programming, I think everyone needs to kind of come to terms with it and just work out a deal. And then, when things get better, then you can argue better rates. So let's see here. All right, so now that we got pretty much the positives as to why this deal would help, primarily Dish, but also DirecTV as well. They'll gain a lot of Dish's customers. They can use that to try to make some money, get all that profit. But nothing is without its warrants, right? So EchoStar recent failed attempt to refinance its debt with bondholders highlights the financial challenges facing the company. Additionally, securing approval from creditors could be hard to prove, and basically be in the middle of finalizing this sale, they're saying. So they're saying, if successful, the merger of Dish and DirecTV would reshape the pay TV industry and leave a lasting impact on the legacy of Charlie Ergen, a pioneer in the satellite television business. Crazy. So, yeah. I mean, I think definitely by Monday, Tuesday, it's going down. Dish needs that money. DirecTV sees some worth and value in here. It'll basically make them like top notch in the pay TV space, right? If you want live TV, most likely you're going to go to them now. They're going to be the big dog. They already are, but they're really going to be the big dog now. Now, basically Dish was like their competition, their direct competition. So they can't wait to knock them out the way. So this is interesting. What's even more interesting is how Dish is able to kind of work its way out of a really bad jam, right? We kind of see this all the time with Dish, and we talk about it here, and a lot of people talk about it. Dish definitely has 9 lives. And I said they're probably going to find some kind of way to stay in the game, because that's what they do. Laugh all you want, but they're fighters. They have a lot of pull. They've been around a long time. They have a lot of resources. They have many ways to tap into those resources and figure out some kind of strategy. But it is, and they had a lot of help from the FCC. So let's not forget about that. Let's be fair and call it what it is. They had a lot of help from the FCC. Many other companies wouldn't have gotten that kind of generosity and that kind of respect. So we have to be clear about that as well. They got very, very lucky. But with all of that, this is why they're still in the game. Now, hopefully they'll do some good with that money, pay down the debts, and maybe we'll start to see them focus more on wireless, build it up, and do what they said they were going to do. Make a really great 4th big carrier. We'll see. It's all up in the air now. Nobody knows for sure how it's going to play out, but it'll be interesting to watch. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.